Knights versus samurai. Who was stronger? Knights and samurai are two legendary warriors of the medieval world, surrounded by myths. People have debated for centuries. Who was stronger? Whose tactics were more effective? And whose weapons were deadlier? In this video, we will explore how they trained, what they believed in, what weapons they used, and who would win in battle. 1. Origins and warrior culture. Knights emerged in Europe during the Middle Ages, around the 8th to 9th centuries. Their foundation was the feudal system. A knight received land from a lord in exchange for military service. They followed a code of honor, chivalry, which demanded courage, loyalty, and the protection of the weak. Samurai, on the other hand, appeared in Japan in the 10th century. Their lives were guided by the philosophy of Bushido, the way of the warrior, which emphasized absolute loyalty, discipline, and a fearless acceptance of death. Samurai were not just warriors, but also intellectuals who studied poetry, calligraphy, and Zen philosophy. Despite their different cultures, both knights and samurai were the elite warriors of their societies. 2. Training and preparation. From childhood, future knights trained in warfare. At 7, they were sent to another knight for training, where they learned horseback riding, sword fighting, and archery. At 14, they became squires, and at 21, they were knighted. Samurai also began training at an early age. They practiced with the katana, bow, yumi, spear, naginata, and studied battlefield tactics. Their training focused on speed, discipline, and emotional control. While knights relied on strength and heavy armor, samurai focused on agility and precision. 3. Armor and protection. Knights wore heavy plate armor that could withstand sword strikes and arrows. Their primary defense was the cuirass, metal breastplate, along with a helmet, gauntlets, and greaves. Samurai armor, known as yoroi and domaru, was lighter and more flexible. It consisted of plates laced together, allowing for greater mobility. Instead of heavy shields, samurai relied on agility and sword skills. 4. Weapons, sword versus sword. A knight's primary weapon was the long sword or arming sword. In close combat, they also carried a dagger, dirk. Additionally, they used maces, battle axes, and lances. Samurai were famous for their katanas, long curved swords that were razor-sharp. The katana allowed for fast and lethal strikes. They also carried a wakizashi, a short sword used for finishing off opponents or committing seppuku. 5. Tactics and fighting style. Knights preferred close combat. Their strategy involved a powerful cavalry charge with lances, followed by intense sword fighting in hand-to-hand combat. They fought in tight formations, where armor and shields created an almost impenetrable wall. Samurai, in contrast, often engaged in one-on-one duels, showcasing their swordsmanship skills. They were more agile, using clever maneuvers and quick strikes. However, they could also fight in formation, using spears and bows for coordinated attacks. 6. Who would win in a duel? If a knight and a samurai faced each other in battle, the outcome would depend on various factors. In an open fight, a knight could endure longer due to his heavy armor. However, if a samurai found a weak spot, a precise katana strike could be deadly. On the other hand, a knight with a lance would have an advantage in reach. Ultimately, the result would depend not only on their weapons and armor, but also on the skill and experience of each warrior. Conclusion. Knights and samurai were legendary warriors, each representing the pinnacle of military skill in their respective cultures. Their philosophies, fighting styles, and weapons differed, but they shared a deep dedication to their duty and mastery of combat. So, who do you think would win in a fight? Let us know in the comments.